Okay, hi everybody. We're continuing with our geometry unit, and now we're going to be doing sections 12.1 and 12.2 together in one lesson. And the objective for this lesson is to find the circumference and the area of circles. So first we just need to do a bunch of vocabulary about circles, make sure you understand that, and then we'll do some problems. Vocabulary, so draw yourself a circle. The first thing we're going to talk about, well, the center point. That will be the point that is in the center. And it's a given point. Okay, then we have the radius. I'm going to work myself around clockwise here. The radius is the distance from the center to any point on the circle. So center out. So any point, from any point on the center to any point that is on the outside of the circle. That would be a radius. So it has to go from the center to the outside. The circumference. The circumference is the distance around the circle. It's like the perimeter of the circle. So how much it is around a circle. It's from starting at one point and ending right back at that point. The diameter is the distance across the circle through the center point. So it has to go through the center, and it has 2 points that are on the outside part of the circle. And the last vocabulary word is called a chord, and a chord connects 2 points on a circle, any 2 points. So an example of a chord could be the diameter, but not all chords are diameters, okay, because the diameter has 2 points on the circle, but it's special because it goes through the center. Okay? That's all the vocabulary for circles. Now let's look at some problems. Part 1. Find the circumference of a circle. To find the circumference of a circle, this is the formula. Circumference equals pi, and pi is just a number. The number that we're going to use for pi is 3.14. This is an abbreviation of pi. Pi actually goes on forever. Okay, but we will use that number for pi times the diameter. D is diameter. The other formula you can use is, well, we know that the diameter is the same thing as 2 radiuses. So you could do 2 times pi times the radius, because 2 radiuses, 2 times r, are the same thing as your diameter. So all of this is the same formula for circumference. Let's do some problems. I'm going to go grab a calculator. Find the circumference of the given circle. Here we have the diameter, so we're going to plug that into our formula. We write C equals 3.14 times our diameter of 7, and we just multiply. 3.14 times 7. It says round to the nearest tenth, and we will get, well, when you type this in your calculator, you get 21.98. This is your tenth spot. This 8 would make that 9 go up 1, so it actually becomes a 10. So you put a 0, add a 1 here. 1 plus 1, you get a 2, so it becomes 22.0. You have to have the point 0 to tell me that you're rounding. Units for circumference stay as a single unit, meters. It doesn't become meters squared. So our circumference is 22.0 meters. Okay, let's try another one. Find the circumference round to the nearest tenth. Again, we have a diameter, so C equals 5.7 times 3.14. Doesn't matter, you could have it the other way. That's the commutative property. My calculator says 17.898, which means 17.9 centimeters. Number 3. With each one of these, by the way, you should be drawing the circle. Okay, so if you didn't, go back and draw those circles. Now we have a radius. So now I'm going to use that second formula. Circumference equals 2 times pi times the radius. Again, round to the nearest tenth. the distance around the circle. Now we're going to do a word problem, and then we're going to do some area, and then we're done. Please copy down the word problem so it makes sense in your notes. Howard works at a community center that has a circular swimming pool. Okay, let's get a circle out. Here's our pool. I'm actually going to lighten up our pool so that it's easier to see. Okay. With a circumference of 40 meters, so the distance around is 40 meters. He would like to use a rope to divide the pool down the center. So he wants to go across the center here. What should the length of the rope be? So you need to figure out, well, he's asking for what? And this, across the center here, would mean he's looking for the diameter. Okay? And in our problem, we know that the circumference is 40 meters. All right, so we have circumference, we have diameter. Here's our formula, C equals pi times diameter. We know the circumference is 40, so I'm going to plug in 40. Pi is just the number 3.14. And we're searching for the diameter. To solve this, divide both sides by 3.14. And we'll get that the diameter, 40 divided by 3.14, will be 12.7. I'm going to round to the nearest 10. And our units, we're talking about meters, would be 12.7 meters. And that would be the length of the rope that we would need. Okay, let's try some area with circles. Part 2, finding the area of a circle. Here's our formula. Pi times the radius squared to the second power. So we have to have the radius and you have to square it. We're going to do 2 examples and then we're going to be done. Find the area of the circle, round to the nearest tenth. Okay, we have a circle here. The radius is 17. So we do area equals pi, 3.14, times the radius, 17 squared. 17 squared times 3.14. My area equals 907.5. Our units for area will always be squared, feet squared. Okay, let's try one more, and then we are done. Again, we have the radius, so we write area equals 3.14, that's your pi, times radius, 4.6, squared. 3.14 times 4.6 squared, I get 66.4 centimeters squared. I'm going to end that there. All right, that's it. Have a good night.